What's up? It's been a while. I'm a bit scruffier than my last video, but so I recently saw Mortal Kombat 2 and I really enjoyed it. So I'm going to make a video reviewing it and I'm going to be addressing the state of my channel like at the end of the video, and I also plan to address the discourse surrounding this movie, because I feel it's a bit strange. Okay, so I saw it the other day with a friend, and we are both fighting game fans, and I'm not too sure about his opinion. I think he liked it, but I really enjoyed this movie. As far as like just fun blockbusters go, I enjoyed this like twice as much as Avatar: Fire and Ash. Like, this movie just hit the spot. It was exactly what you wanted from it. It's compared to the first movie, I don't even recommend watching the first movie. The first movie was like a 3 out of 10. The second movie, this Mortal Kombat 2, is like a 7.5. It's really strong, especially considering the modern action landscape. But everything was a step up. The writing, the action, the comedy even. And the first movie had some, like, was carried by its comedy in my opinion. I think Kano in the first movie kind of saved this franchise. He just, by carrying the first movie so hard. But in the second movie you can tell that they listened to the criticisms of the first, and there are a few scenes in this movie where it feels almost kind of like the Sonic redesign. There's a comparison by Mauler, the YouTuber. It feels like the Sonic redesign where it's as if they turn towards the camera and say, "Don't worry, we got this." So yeah, I'll discuss that in the spoiler section. First half, I want it to be spoiler free. So the plot is so much stronger. The framing, the setup with the actual tournament, they keep it simple with the two realms, Earthrealm and Outworld. They even have the rounds, like the lanterns of fire, which are like the fighters' rounds. It's so good, it's so simple, it's so classic. It feels very video game-like, but also like old-fashioned, I don't know, like 2000s and 90s action movie, where it keeps it simple, but that's its strength. It's to its strength by far. And just seeing the individual rounds, comparing the different rounds, the different fights, I loved it so much. Sure, I saw it in a packed theatre. Every seat was filled and the audience was like bloodthirsty, man. Sure. There is a scene where a character that we kind of wanted to see get got, they meet their end, and the audience was like, was like, sure, Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn killed it. The actor is a famous bodybuilder. He's 6'8". I don't know what that is in centimeters, but sure, he's massive. He has the mask just like the game. The classic design, much better than the newer General Shao design. And so he's definitely a much better villain. I don't even remember the villain of the first one. I think it was like half Scorpion and then Goro came out of nowhere. Forget about the first one, okay. So you can, as I said, you can watch this without seeing the first one. And it's probably better. It's probably made better if you don't see the first one. So main characters, there's two, Johnny Cage and Katana. the opening of this movie sets it up so well with the final fight for Kitana's realm, with her father and her watching, and Shao Kahn defeating her father and taking control of her realm, because that's the way it works. The gods have decided. So it's very interesting setup. I don't know that much about Mortal Kombat lore. I know more than the average person, because I'm a fan of the games, but I haven't watched that many YouTube videos going into the setup. But I would love to know more about the gods and the elder gods and the protectors of the realms who have like set up the rules of how these wars are fought and decided. I think that would be, they leave a lot of room to expand on, and they've set up the characters like Quan Chi and Kano, capturing him like really will allow them to expand on the wider framework. So I can't wait for that. Definitely support this. I would love to see a sequel. I would love to see this franchise. If they learned this much in between Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2 movie, I can only imagine, like, with the help of Ed Boon, what they are going to get up to, because the game's lore has gotten too convoluted, as game lore often does, and this is an opportunity to really simplify things with one consistent timeline. We have set up our Avengers, so to speak. There's even like a classic shot of them walking in slow, at the end of the movie, walking in slow motion towards the camera, all in a line. So that's good. I see what you're doing. I see. Okay. What else? Alright, let's just talk about spoilers. Forget it. So when the new guy, the OC, Mortal Kombat OC, Please Do Not Steal, Cole Young, he gets his head like completely destroyed, caved in by the great hammer of Shao Kahn in one strike. The audience was like, "Oh!" And he like just pushes him into the water. And that's the end of his character. That was definitely the right decision. That's what I was talking about earlier, where it felt like the Sonic redesign, where they turn to the audience and say, "We got this." And I haven't even mentioned Johnny Cage. Johnny Cage is the secondary main character to Kitana, and he is set up at the beginning, right after the scene with Kitana's world being taken over. He's a washed-up, failed actor. There are multiple ways Johnny has been portrayed over the course of the games. There's times where he's in his prime, where he's on fire as an actor, and he's making hits and a skilled martial artist, and there's other times where he's shown, as he is in this movie, where he's a has-been, he's washed up, but he had great skill. It's just that his movies have faded into irrelevancy, and there's some great references in this movie, like good, well-handled references, where he even talks about action movies. Like he says, no one wants to see karate or martial arts poses. They want to see Keanu Reeves massacring 1,000 men with a pencil. So yeah, that was a great line that killed the theater. And I'm a John Wick fan, but that was clean. I wouldn't mind seeing more martial arts movies again, like Bloodsport. That would be awesome. So sure. What else? So he gets whisked away, spirited away into the temple of all the fighters to fight for Earth by Raiden, under the guidance of Raiden, and I felt his decision to leave his old life behind was a bit fast, but at the same time, who cares? Like, let's just go, let's get to the action, let's not dilly-dally too long. So after thinking about it more, I think, yeah, it was just awesome that the movie is not wasting your time. Definitely not. It's not suffering from the Avatar issue, as I said before. So, yeah. What else? So a few of the first fights aren't that good, particularly with Jade versus Jax. And the first fight with Johnny versus Katana wasn't that great, but the others were definitely good. And eventually we get to Liu Kang versus Kung Lao. The highlight of the movie takes place in the portal, the blue portal stage, which is an actual fighting stage from the game. And sure, the effects in the scene like kick up a notch. It's like that moment in the show where the animation like turns on the budget, and like the rest of the movie looked great, but like in this they really took their time with the choreography, and even the dialogue in the scene is so good. It's so much like better than it has any right to be. With Liu Kang talks to Kung Lao, and Kung Lao is a revenant. And Liu Kang is like, "I'll bring you back, please be my brother again." And Liu Kang says, "I will kill you and bring you back. Then we can be brothers again, but like on the evil side, but we will be together." And Liu Kang just can't accept that. Kung Lao is so good. He's by far the best martial artist actor in this movie. You can tell, because you can tell the others have worked hard, but Kung Lao's actor, I forget his name right now. I think it's an English name with an Eastern last name, but him and Liu Kang are so good, and together in this fight, the effects. Kung Lao is my favorite character. I can't wait to see what they do with him, to see more fights with him in the future. Kano's back, and his dialogue is great, and he had actual great characterization for his motives. It just all clicks together so well with the way this is set up, and yeah. And there's a lot of potential to go into with some of the Deadly Alliance characters, the side characters, which are like the henchmen underneath the main bad boss, that have been known to work together and form a Deadly Alliance, so to say. So, can't wait to see more of that. There's a lot of setup for future in this movie, but not to the detriment of itself at all. Definitely not. So, what else? I felt Scorpion and Sub-Zero were a bit tacked on, and I know it's because they are by far the most iconic characters, but yeah, it felt like it kind of came out of nowhere, that the half of the final fight takes place in the Netherrealm, and Scorpion is there. And Noob Saibot, but they don't call him Noob Saibot because it sounds ridiculous. For those of you who don't know, the Shadow clone character, his name is Noob Saibot, which is the inventors of the Mortal Kombat franchise's last names spelled in reverse. So it's Ed Boon and John Tobias Boon, Noob Saibot. So he was kind of like a secret character in the game, which is why he's named so funny. But everyone knows him now. So, a bit of lore. And the fight with Noob was fantastic. Like, I really love a group, like a 3-on-1 fight. It's always fun to see in any superpower show, to see how they handle the synergy and anti-synergy between the powers. Thought it was great. And in a very clever way with the amulet, through the amulet of Shinnok, more setup. The half of this fight that takes place in the Netherrealm is connected to the main final fight, which is Katana versus Shao Kahn at her realm, at the same place her father was killed. And sure, the emotional stakes in this fight, I skipped over some of the earlier ones. There are 10 rounds in total, really, of 10 main fights. Some of them are put together when there are multiple fighters involved, like a 2 versus 2, and it's somewhere in the middle of the movie. But the final round where Katana switches sides and you see the lantern switch from 2 on one side to 1 versus 1, that was awesome. I got chills. I thought it was so cool. It's such a cool use of the video gamey round setup. That's so awesome. And I love that they just embraced the tournament arc side of it. That was, yeah. Some non-video game fans, some like movie critics they don't get it. I think genuinely anyone could, even if you don't know Mortal Kombat, you could get into this movie and get the hype very much. So I don't know what they're talking about. They're talking nonsense. All the real ones know that this is one of the best video game adaptations of all time. It's up there with like Sonic 3. Warcraft is okay. First Tomb Raider movie with Angelina Jolie, maybe. It's up there with that, definitely. This movie is really, really solid in its writing, and it's better at a lot of things that quote-unquote real movies are messing up constantly these days. So it's really nice to see that, and I can't wait to see video game adaptations of all things completely outshine like all the action movies of recent times, besides John Wick, obviously. So, final fight. Obviously, Katana's actress is not quite as skilled martial artist as some of the other actors, but the effects, the stunt doubles, obviously, they really play with Shao Kahn's like massive strength and her like completely the opposite end of the spectrum. The fight is a fight of opposites where she's super fast but like fragile. She can't take a single hit. And the fatality at the end where the chain reaction, so the fight in the Netherrealm breaks the amulet, which takes away his immortality, and she finishes him off in the other world. That was awesome. It's rare to see a final fight that really lands. Like, you haven't seen that since, I don't know, first Avatar movie. John Wick final fight is terrible with the old guy. The final fight is always the worst part of a John Wick movie, but for this, it's nice to see one that ramps up until a great fight at the end. So it's nice to see that again. As I said, this movie feels weirdly classic. You can tell, because Mortal Kombat is such an old franchise, it started in the 90s. Fun fact, it's actually, Mortal Kombat is the thing to initially invent the ESRB age rating for computer games. Mortal Kombat started that because it was so shocking with all the blood. So, yeah, that's really cool. So you can tell they got back to their roots, they kept it simple, and sure, I loved it. It was a highlight of my winter, I suppose. Sure. It's nice to finally find a gem these days. There's not much to go see, especially if you like action. Project Hail Mary was great, but there's an itch that only, you know, a violent movie like Mortal Kombat 2 can hit. And this definitely hit the spot. So, as I said, 7 out of 10, maybe an 8 if I'm really feeling it. So, yeah, I've said all I wanted to say. Regarding this channel, I'm just going to keep uploading what I want to talk about. Regarding my by far most popular Brazilian nerdcore videos, I have said all that I needed to say about that subject so far, so don't expect reaction videos. I'm not gonna be doing that. It doesn't come naturally to me. But yeah, if I have some more stuff I want to say about that, I will. But I can't think of anything right now. I've gotten that off my chest so far. Alright, good night. Alright, see you. Farewell. It's been a while.